Okay. Good morning, folks. I'm just getting set up. We're doing some Death Company this morning, dry brushing. Oh, new hobby tools. My old clippers have finally given out. They don't really work very well. There's gaps in between them. So I've replaced them with the new GW ones. So I'm looking forward to trying them out, but not today. It's a shame. I really like these. They've lasted me. I got them when they were brand new. We also picked up some new dry brushes to replace these things, which are actually on camera they don't look so bad, but they are. This one especially, the smaller one, is gone. I might keep that one around, but actually just throw them away. Hey, right. So black is a pain in the arse color to paint, but nice and easy if you dry brush. So we're going to start off with some of this Thunderhawk blue. You can see that I don't use this that often. Gloopy. It's actually best, I am told, to have a little bit of moisture on your brush. Not much. Like, you know, you don't want it wet or anything, but just enough to stop it streaking. I'm going to cover the whole model. Let's see how much I can get done this morning. I have not painted a Death Company in a long time. Far longer than you would think. Would have been like 95 or something. Maybe a bit more. That might be a bit better. This is the way I paint my ultramarines, incidentally. Same technique, double dry brush. It's always the same with the initial one, because it's so close to being black. If you're getting on, like me, it can take a while to actually see any kind of progress of the paint going on the model, and you sometimes can overdo it. But don't worry. It is cold this morning. Literally freezing. Well, -2 where we are. Which is why I've got the coffee on. Another quiet night, quiet weekend, sorry, for 40k, wasn't it? Not a lot going on. One. You know, I've still got all my junk up on top of my... I paint on this, like, painting box. And so normally, let me get rid of all this. This is all the stuff from building that dreadnought. Normally I put the models that I've been working on up on the top of the tray, and well, it's covered in bits, so let's clear that off. Oh, and a shiny new medium layer brush. I always try and pick one of them up when I go in. Yeah, not a lot of 40k stuff. There's talk of a reveal show at some point. What are we expecting? Rumor mill apparently is Space Wolves. Or Emperor's Children. I guess I'm just going to wait and see what happens. The only thing I'm genuinely looking forward to is this Era of Ruin book for the Heresy, which we all thought was done for. Done with. I'm still not 100% convinced it's real, but we'll see. I was hoping to go in and arrange a game as well, like, because my local is turn that down a bit. My local is actually a Warhammer store. That's generally where I play. And by generally, I mean like 98% of the time when I play, that's where I play. And they've changed their policy. And I'm not sure why they've changed their policy. Although I could take a guess. That no longer are we allowed to do pickup games. We're not allowed to just book a table, come in and play. We have to do armies. Events, sorry. So Games Workshop decides the events. And we can sign up to it, or we don't, I guess. So like right now, it's every Thursday. Right now, it's going to be a boarding action last Thursday, which I missed, unfortunately. I would have liked to have gone to that. Next week, it's some AOS game. Warcry or something. I don't know. And after that, it's another, like a different AOS game. Spearhead, I think it is. And that takes us into December, where they haven't posted the new schedule yet. But there's rumors that Blood Bowl is coming, and there is rumors that there might be a 40k December league, which will be great. I'll go to that. And I wouldn't mind going to the Blood Bowl one, I suppose. It's rubbish though, I'll be honest, like it's pretty crap. I'm sure the store members didn't do this, like the store manager, because he's a sound guy. Rich, from Aberdeen, if anyone doesn't know where I game, it's Aberdeen, the Aberdeen Warhammer store. Awesome guys. They've really helped me out over the last few years with some good advice, and never pushy. Or if they are pushy, I'm not aware of it, which is fine. But yeah, they've been very helpful. It's looking all right, isn't it? Yeah, unfortunately, you probably can't see too well this morning, and it's because my my daylight. This is my portable light that I use. It's kind of on the way out. I've only had it a year. Let me see if I can get it on, and it's switching itself off. It's such a pain. Let me try it again. Yeah, maybe that's a bit better. We'll see how long it lasts. But I'm quite pleased with these guys. They're turning out pretty well. Yeah, so it used to be that you would just rock up on a Thursday, put your name down, you'd get, a space at the table. And that's all gone now. So I think what I'm going to have to do is try and find a new place to game, which I'm gutted about because I like going there. And they're super sound guys, and they're always open, and they always have, like, the best stock levels. And insider information, of course, Always informed because they have to be. Or I could take up AOS, I suppose. I'm not a fan of AOS, I'll be honest. It's not my thing. I've got no problem with AOS, it's just I struggle to, think about it. I'm glad it's doing well, though. Everyone should be able to game the way that they want to. I have signed up. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, there's in my local area, northeast of Scotland, Grampian, a new sort of tournament organizer has started called the Grampian Gaming Guild, and they've just put on their first RTT for January. So I've signed up to that. January the 11th, I think it is. So just before the kids go back to school, or just after, I guess. First weekend back, I would imagine. Look at that. Can you see that? Looks pretty good, huh? Yeah, chuffed with that. So yeah, that's what I've got to look forward to. Blood Bowl in December, possibly a 40k league. Oh no, there is another one. November the 30th, I'm playing in an event called Dreads versus Treads, which is a massive game. I'll try and get some pictures. You got to be careful though, because it's open to the public and everything, and it's involves under 18s and stuff. So I will see what I can do. But yeah, so they're putting this massive game on. I went to the one 2 years ago, or last year I think it was, and it's on one side tanks, anything with treads, or floater tanks I guess as well, and on the other side walkers. There's always a couple of guys that bring in their Titans, and the Titans go on both sides, because otherwise the walkers, I think, would have a slight advantage, and they already have a pretty hefty advantage from all the knight players. This one went a bit streaky, didn't it? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know what side I'm going to try and play on. I have a fair amount of both these days. I always like bringing the Astraeus, which is, this. If you don't know what the Astraeus is, it's a Space Marine super heavy tank. It's not as good as apparently it was last edition. This one, it's a bit weaker, which is a shame. Sort of anti-elite infantry. And even then, questionable. But it looks cool, and that's the important thing. So we'll see how that goes. On the walker side of things, I have currently, let's see, I've got 3 Redemptors, a Ballistus, a Brutalis, so that's 3, 5. I've got a box knot for 6. I've got an Imperial Knight. Yeah. So I could bring my dreadnoughts, I suppose. On the tank side, I also have my my old Imperial Guard army from back when I used to play in, like, I think it was 6th edition, 6th or 7th. So I've got about 4 or 5 Lemon Rust variants. My Land Raider, Lancer, Vindicator. That's about it. I think what I'll do is I'll pack them both up. I've got one of the Crusader Case XLs. I can probably hold them all. Pack them all into there. And whichever side needs more people, I will join. I'm really looking forward to that, though. I haven't played 40k in a while now. Oh, sorry. Hopefully that's okay. Let's get some of my coffee. Excuse me. Yeah, so the channel seems to be doing all right. I really appreciate all the subscriptions. I think I hit 33 last night, which is pretty amazing given that I've only been doing it for like a week. Still hoping to reach that 50 subscriber goal. So if you are watching this and you want to see somebody, more videos of somebody rambling while they paint stuff, talking about what's going on in the world of Warhammer, drop me a subscription. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, I'm painting off the camera again, aren't I? Let me bring this back a bit. Yeah, that looks real nice. Really, my plans for the channel is just to continue doing what I'm doing. I'd like to do what I'm currently doing, you know, just painting and whatnot, but do it live. So like live streams. I was trying to come up with a clever name, but so far it is eluding me. I generally paint in the mornings, so anywhere between sort of 6:30 but more realistically 8:30 to 9:45 kind of time. So like breakfast hobby, or what would it be? What word begins with C that is hobby related? I'm getting nothing. Coffee and brushing. Coffee and... I don't know. If you've got any ideas, you can always stick one below. For a morning hobby channel. Or a late night, I suppose, if you're elsewhere. I'm in the UK, obviously. I've got to remember to save one of these guys, because I want to do a, you know, a start to finish painting tutorial like I did with the Sanguinary Guard. Oh, that was the other thing I did when I went into the Warhammer shop yesterday. I went and got my Dante back, because he's been in their display cabinets for a couple of weeks. Right, we've got 3 left. Before we move on, let's have a look at this. Throwing them away. We want to keep 1 for a tutorial. Where's the other one? I think that's going to be the tutorial. Bare heads. That would just add extra time, wouldn't it? And he's got the chain sword, which is pretty standard. It's a shame he didn't have the bolt pistol. I should have kept one of the other ones. That's fine. Yeah, we'll keep him. But, I mean, painting heads isn't hard. It's just I've noticed that when I was editing the Sanguinary Guard video, boy, it's hard to keep it down to like 20 minutes, half an hour. Giving me a bit of mad respect for Games Workshop's ones, where they generally get them in and out in like 10 minutes. And there's so many videos out there that are like an hour long. But I think my style, like, unless you're like an absolute pro painter, trying to teach people how to improve their painting to, you know, competition levels, I don't think you want that video to be like an hour long. Half an hour, 20 minutes, in and out. That's the whole point. Speed painting, you want a speedy video. Which is what this is going to be. I mean, the black is basically 2-tone dry brush. Again, exactly the same as I do for my Ultramarines. Probably going to pick out the details at that point. I'm unsure, because with my Ultramarines, what I generally do is I pick out, I do the dry brushing, I pick out the details, you know, base them all in. And then I like doing all over Nuln oil wash. With these guys, I don't think the Nuln oil is going to be dark enough. So I'm going to probably use the old Black Templar that I've had sitting around not doing anything with ever since they brought out Black Legion. You know, thin that down. He's coming out okay. They're all coming out okay. This is a great colour, this Thunderhawk Blue. I love when I get to use it. Yeah, so, but with these guys, I'm concerned that the all-over wash, which will be a thin-down Black Templar, if I do that over the details, the other colors, it might not work so well. So I'm going to have a think. We might do a test model. I'll do one. I'll finish like the first one or something and cover it in the Black Templar. And then the other one, I'll do the Black Templar first. And then to go and do the other details. Or I might just do that with them all. We will see. We can find that out together. I tell you what I am gutted about. The fact that I can't like have a pickup game at my Warhammer store. And I'm painting a new bloody army. You know? I've actually just finished an army as well. A 2,000 point Firstborn Battle Company. And I haven't had a chance to put it on the table yet because I'm not allowed. There's nowhere I can There's nowhere I can put it on the table. Okay, so that is them. Where did they go? There we go. So, Thunderhawk Blue done. We're going to move on to Fenrisian Grey. You'll have to excuse me, by the way. I don't know if you've seen this. My hands are, because it's so cold and the heating's on, my hands dry out. So, if you see me scrunch them, it's because, God, it hurts like heck. Not that anyone wants to know that. I'm always really tempted to not, wash the dry brushes if I'm continuing to use them. But I think that's what messed up my last ones. Treat them just like normal brushes, I suppose. I'm waiting for a good opportunity to show you guys my vortex mixer, which I imported from Japan. This thing is amazing, and the best part about it is it clasps in the pot. So yeah, I'll when we need to, we'll come to that, and I'll show you how that all works. It is loud as hell, but it's such a good vortex mixer. This Fenrisian Grey, though, doesn't need a lot of mixing. It's still a bit wet. This is going to be a more targeted highlight, so a lot lighter. I may even swap to the other dry brush. In fact, let's do that. I'm going with the small one. Water, didn't I? Right. Let's start guy one, number one. See, that's so much brighter. Still a bit streaky though. And we're just gonna go for the raised areas of the boots, the greaves, whatever they're called. What would you call them? Feet? The helmet. Just on the corners. What we can do, if we're not happy with it, I mean, I'm probably going to be fine with it, but if you're wanting to be extra careful, you can always go over with some, Black Templar or whatever. I generally don't. I know a lot of people are like, oh, when you base coat a model, go over it with another base color. I never do that anymore. I used to, but it takes far too much time, and I don't see the results in any kind of level that I give a monkeys about. So I'm fine with this. What will happen is when we go to use the Black Templar, it'll knock everything back anyway. That's not bad, is it? These are looking okay. I wouldn't mind getting a little bit more in there. Let's change this up, because my goodness me, that's a bit loud, wasn't it? really hard to find music for this stream that isn't something everyone else also uses and is royalty free. I'm much more into my, my chill stuff. We'll get there. Nice. Yeah, happy with that. And this will be the exact same technique I use with the dreadnought. Oh, I'm so looking forward to painting that dreadnought. You have no idea. But what's that quote? You haven't eaten your meat. You can't have your pudding unless you've eaten your meat. From Another Brick in the Wall. I haven't watched that in ages. So yes, my point is that I've got to paint these guys first. And I can reward myself with the dreadnought. I'm assuming everyone does that. Does everyone do that? Reward yourself with a character. When you paint a squad. I wonder if anyone does it the other way around, like they paint a character and reward themselves with a squad. Somebody must. Someone must enjoy doing that. It's a great thing about the internet. There's so many people on it that you can literally get any opinion and anything put out there. So there'll be someone that enjoys painting squads more than characters. I think I enjoy painting characters mainly because I like finishing things. I like finishing projects. That's my joy. So by painting a character, one and done, you're out. Or elite units. Custodes, that was going to be one of my armies I painted. Nice and easy to paint. But I was not thrilled by the new codex this edition, and so I didn't bother. Oh. Distracting myself. I forget if I did his jump pack or not. I would have liked to have got this video out yesterday. I'm very painfully aware these days about scheduling. I would much rather just make videos whenever I want to, but I understand that that's not really what YouTube rewards. It's all about consistency. So you want to get videos out in the same day. And if you don't, then YouTube will, or when I say YouTube, I'm talking about the algorithm. it will come down on you. Especially when you're a new channel. So yeah, I guess I've got to start thinking about when I'm going to release videos. Which is a shame, because I do this generally every day. Not without fail, of course. I've got some other responsibilities that I need to take care of from time to time, but I usually always get like a hobby hour in the morning. Which is why I thought it was worthwhile going ahead and trying to do this. It looks good. I was incredibly tempted by those Christmas boxes. On Twitter, if anyone knows me from Twitter, I always give the Dark Angels a bit of a hard time because it's kind of joking around, really. Like, when I was a kid, I painted, I collected Blood Angels in 2nd edition, and they used to have to share a codex with the Dark Angels, and I always kind of resented that. It's like, Dark Angels? Who cares about the Dark Angels? Not realizing that, like, they're a super popular chapter. And now, it is my belief that the Dark Angels are generally what everyone says about the Ultramarines, but true. By which I mean, you know, GW's favorites, special snowflakes to get everything. I mean, they have everything. They do have everything. They've got their prime work and all their specialized units and everything. So. But I tell you what, I was tempted by that battle box. All those Terminators and the Lionel Johnson. Yeah, I came very close to picking that up. Very close. And then the Imperial Knight box. I wanted that last year, or was it the year before they released that one? They called it the Shield Breaker, or something like that. Maybe it wasn't Shield Breaker. What was it? Chain Breaker box or something? I've got an Imperial Knight. I own one painted, ready to go Imperial Knight, and I've got another Imperial Knight that was gifted to me. It was a present. Although it's like a 30k Knight, comes in a Horus Heresy box. So I don't know if that's like got extra parts in it or if there's anything unusual. If you know, let me know. So it's for about a year, actually. I got it last March, and it's been sat in this box. I should get around to that. Anyway, my point is that because I've already got 2 of those types of knights, I don't really need a third one. And I've got 2 of those little armigers. The armigers would have been kind of cool. 150 quid as well. It was pretty cheap. Trouble with black, isn't it? It's not showing up particularly well on the camera. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, I've just had a thought. I could probably paint this other Death Company. The one that I was saving for the tutorial. I could probably go ahead and do them and then just use the Dreadnought for the video. What do you think? Or I could double dip into it, I suppose, do one for each. How to paint Death Company Dreadnoughts. How to paint Death Company Marines. Go through the whole kit. How to paint Death Company with jump packs. How to paint Death Company with bolt rifles. How to paint Death Company. That'd be good for the algorithm. And as transparent as Wonder Woman's invisible jet. Does she even have the invisible jet now in those movies? I haven't really seen them. I don't watch a lot of TV. I mainly watch YouTube, so I miss out on these things. I think that last Star Wars film, that broke me. The episode 9 or whatever it was called. And I haven't actually, I think that was the last film I saw in the cinema. Went with my brother. And I've not been back since. I think COVID didn't help realistically, but yeah. No, I don't watch a lot of television. Which is a shame. I'm sure I've missed some good stuff. Oh, I'll tell you what I did watch. That House of the Dragon, that was good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Second season wasn't as good as the first, but it was still good. I'm well into my Game of Thrones right now. Currently working my way through the audiobooks. Up to Feast of Crows. Things are starting to get a bit weird. You're beginning to understand why George R.R. Martin has not finished those books. I don't think he knows what to do with the characters anymore. If he had a plan, it's gone off the rails, I think. I keep meaning to look up reviews for the books that I read. But Feast of Crows is definitely, so far, it's probably the weakest one. But then I'm only like a few hours in. I can't see the box. This guy. Sorry it hasn't been that interesting this stream. We're just dry brushing. I always think though that when I watch a painting video and some guy's like, you know, how to paint an entire army in a weekend, and they paint one model. I'm like, wow, you painted one? So maybe it's good to see people batch painting. Maybe that's how I should title this. Batch painting, morning one, Death Company with jump packs. I guess that's what I'll probably call it. It's at 9:30. I would very much like to get to the Black Templar stage, but I think I'm, oh, shoot. I'm breaking things. I'm painfully aware I'm running out of time. I've got some other stuff I need to do, unfortunately. I think what I need to do, I'm trying to think about the next kind of unit I'm going to be doing after these two. So I've got the Dreadnought to do, the Death Company, I've got two captains, and I was going to be painting one of them up as a Death Company captain, and the other one I was going to be painting up as a regular captain. So I may do the Death Company captain first. Ultimately, I'd like 3. I want a gold one, a red one, and the Death Company one. This is good tunes. Whoever did, who is this? This is Ampass Beats, Amp Ass or Ampass. I don't know which way that's pronounced, but royalty free stuff, eh? Is it going all right? So that is that. This is actually the whole video is quite not a bad topic, really. See how much you can get done in like 45 minutes I've been doing this for? If you just do 45 minutes, just a little bit. I know some people struggle with painting and actually getting work done, but you can do quite a lot in 45 minutes. That's like 2 stages of painting these guys. You know, some people have asked me, how do I paint so quickly? And it's just put in the work. Just get it done. Get them on your table. 45 minutes every morning, before or after work or whatever. Especially if your scheme is quick, then yeah, you'll get it finished. I'd like to do the Black Templar. What? 9:30. I suppose I could. I'd have to actually find it. I'm not even sure where it is. If I can find it straight away, I'll do that. It's alright. This is my old... I don't know if you've seen these. I can't get it on stream, but it's called a hobby chest. They used to make some great products back in the day. And since Black Templar is not something I use a lot, it goes into these storage kits. Abaddon Black, I haven't used that in ages either. Morden Earth. Black Templar, okay. Alright, screw it, let's see what we can do. See how much we can get done in half an hour. I'll try and push it. So we need some medium. Contrast medium. I should have probably used a new one of these, but you guys don't mind. We're going to have to water this down. Although this is a contrast paint, and it's kind of designed for one coat, even thinning it down 1:1 is not enough. Which is why I stopped using it. So we're going to go 2 drops, I think. 1, 2, maybe even a third one, and we'll try and see how that goes. The new Nuln Oil. I like the new Nuln Oil. I know a lot of people don't, but I quite like it. But it is quite glossy, like oily. Even that might be a bit. That might even be a bit much. But we'll try. Let's try do a tester, shall we? We will test his leg, and we'll see how we get on. Got to find some part of him that's got quite a lot of this. It's all right. What we could do is, once we've gone over this, is just do a very even lighter dry brush. I think we need some more medium. Even a lighter one. Maybe even a white. Oh. It's not bad. Let's try a little dab of water. Oh, that's a bit better. Maybe I should have done what I did for my Tyrannids, which is I've got an empty pot in my storage that I call Tyrannid juice, and it's literally contrast medium and is it Magos purple and Leviathan. It's a great wash for Tyrannids, but you use so much of it when painting Tyrannids that having to build it up every time would be a nightmare. So for all these Death Company, it might have been worthwhile watering down some, making their own pot. Let's see, looking. Oh, missed a bit. Again, the camera's not the best, especially without my usual hobby light. There's another one. Obviously, it's still wet. I'll have to wait until it dries. Ah, there we go. You can kind of see it there, how it's going to be. That's nice. I like that. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it. I'm happy enough with that. I think another contrast medium. Another drop. This song is a bit never-ending story, isn't it? That's what I keep meaning to do. We were talking about films a while ago. I keep meaning to go back and watching all these films I saw as a kid. People were talking about Transformers the movie the other day on Twitter. I do watch that fairly regularly, you know, once every 5 years or so. That's what's going to happen when movies these days kind of suck. People are just going to go back to when they enjoyed them, I suppose. But I think that's just part of getting old. Like, you see, you know, when I was growing up in the 80s and the 90s, you know, you went and saw your grandparents. What were they watching? Were they watching the latest Arnold Schwarzenegger film or Sylvester Stallone? Nope. They were watching, like, musicals from the 40s and the 50s. And that's no different than what we're doing just now. Oh, it's such a shame that black is not showing up. I'm going to have to get that new camera in order. I apologize for anyone who's still watching. For the curious, if anyone's not sure why I'm doing this, it's basically it's almost like a glazing, like what you do with glazes. So you're just knocking back the white and you're kind of blending it all together. And more importantly, when you dry brush, you will get like that chalkiness that some people really don't like. I don't particularly mind it because I think it kind of looks like battle damage, like weathering. But it'll take that out. Three. Oh, it's difficult when you can't see. Where are they? Down you go. Here's number 4. You know what? Let's put them there. We'll put them there. Oh. It's a catastrophe off camera. There. Apologies. Oh, there we go. That's the magic number, I think, there. So that was 3 or 4 drops of contrast and 1 of water. So basically 5 to 1 might do it. So it's going on a bit more like null oil and less like a contrast paint. But you want the properties of the contrast paint. I was watching a channel you probably all know called Winter's SEO. And he actually had a pretty good tutorial up a while back now for his Raven Guard for painting black. If I remember, he uses a lot of whites though, like greys and whites, and null oil. They look good. They did look great. The only part of that tutorial that I wasn't a fan of was having to go back with the dry brush. You know, after you've done it. I mean, you can do it, but if you can avoid it, why would you want to do that? It just adds extra time. to make some more. This is number 5. I'm hoping this shows up in camera, but you can see where it's taken away all that chalkiness that was on the arm there. Black Templar itself is kind of bluey, so it works really well for these purposes of painting black, because painting black, is no doubt everyone already knows, is hard as hell, because you know, black is just, it's so dark that it's difficult to pick out details with it. So the best way to do it is to paint in like shades of grey and blue, like navies. So really, I mean, if I was painting like a centerpiece model and I wanted to do this, you know, make it look even better, I would have probably started, spray it Chaos Black, and I would have gone in with another color like, oh, what's the black one? It's Corvus Black. That's the one. You know, it's kind of got that bluey grey tinge to it. Covered the whole model in that, based it in that, and worked up from there. You can also, if you were going to panel line, if you wanted to panel line, brown works really well with black. So your Agrax Earthshade, or even make your own one with like, I'm annoyed, I'm gonna have to go and make some more of this stuff, aren't I? I don't know what would be a good one. Dryad bark, maybe? I would just use Agrax if I was going to do that. Yeah, we're doing this first. The trouble when you do these things, 4, 5, I may even go for a 5th, or a 6th rather. Okay, one of these. The trouble when you're doing these things, because it's not like you can dump them in the part of your palette that you've already used. There's that. Maybe another one. That's better. Oh, excuse me. Cold season, isn't it? Everyone seems to be coming down with something. This is going to be good, because the reason why I want to do this now, rather than, you know, wait until later on this evening or tomorrow, is because it's such a large step in terms of, you know, you're painting all over the model, and then you've got to wait for it to dry. So it's best to kind of, when you're trying to speed paint, when you're trying to get through something quickly, always finish on the step that involves painting a lot of the model. So washes. You know, the basing, put something down on the base. All over, like dry brush doesn't matter, because that dries so quickly. At least that's what I always do. My watch is telling me to stand up. Look at that. Time to stand. It's a good reminder, though. Especially when you're at my age, you start to feel time creeping, and I tell you, if you're not in your 40s yet, get on it. Get on it quicker, because my goodness, it comes up quickly. I wish I'd started when I was younger. Haven't I heard that before? hoping that by the time I've done all these guys, like the first one will be completely dry and we can have a proper look at them before I sign off for the day. I think that would be a good way to finish. I'm always interested to hear from people, though, if, you know, do you hobby in the morning? My philosophy from doing this actually came from an Australian fella I follow on X, formerly Twitter. Dan the Gamer King, and it was him that created the what did he call it? Lunch Hammer. That's the one. The Lunch Hammer game tag, where you know you just try and do little 15 minutes here and there, and it all adds up. Paint where you can find time. And I've found that every time I have like I'm struggling, like I get it, everyone gets it, I think, when they're like, well, I can't really be bothered, and you go in these hobby slumps where you haven't painted for like weeks or even months at a time, and you're like, how do I get out of this? And you look at videos, you're like, can someone tell me the secret of getting out of a hobby slump? Well, the gamer can. He told me the secret, and it was just do 15 minutes. Just find something you can do, get your paints out, sit down, do 15 minutes. Take them to work, make yourself a little portable kit, even if it's like one paint, one brush, and an old yogurt pot or your lunchtime yogurt pot, wash it out, use that. And I find that once I've done 15 minutes, I'm kind of back in the swing of it again, which is exactly what happened the last time I had one of these things, these hobby slumps, which was when Space Marine 2 came out. I was in the middle of trying to finish this Firstborn battle company I was doing, and the game came out, and I didn't pick up a paintbrush for about 2 months, or however long it's been. But then you're just like, you know what? Paint one model, paint one thing, do one layer of dry brushing. Anything, just get sat and get doing it, and you're like, oh yeah, this was a lot of fun. You kind of forget how important it is, or how much you enjoy it. And it is important. It absolutely is important. We all need that time to ourselves. Oh, I've only got one more of these guys to do. I hope I've got enough paint. Yeah, last one. We'll add a bit of water. So yeah, what you can do is, if you finish this and you feel like you've knocked it back too much, you can always get out the dry brush and do like another very targeted Fenrisian grey. Or you can even get out your regular brushes and just edge highlight slightly. I'm looking forward to seeing that first one that we did a second ago, and we'll see how he's come out. I think it was about 3 models in when I added a bit more, so we'll check him out too. But I think they're looking pretty good. Just a little bit more. Now the backpack to go. Okay. Right then, let's have a look at the first guy because he's going to be dry by now. What do we think? It's pretty good. Quite happy with that. And the third one that I did, this is when I added extra contrast paint. Yeah, that's the magic number, isn't it? So 5 to 6 contrast paint drops. Nice. Funky. Right. Well, that is me. So hopefully I will be back tomorrow or Thursday for another hour. Thank you very much for watching. If you have made it this far into my video, you have no idea how much I appreciate that. Believe me. If you haven't already subscribed, then drop a subscription button, click all that stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.